November, December, we got a call from Eric and knew that couldn't be good. Ray Loxdale was putting a team together to go to Peru, and they asked several of us if we would come, and it was a different kind of trip this time. It's what they're called a scoping trip, so we were pretty humbled to be included in that. And the purpose of the trip was to find other projects for a better world, mainly for students, I think, because they were looking for something for students, a better place for students to go. And so what we did, it was a twofold trip. One, we were scouring the countryside for projects and looking for people in villages and that could use our help. And number two, I guess we were practice guinea pigs to see how long they could stick us in vehicles and drive us around and that kind of thing. And Eric put this slide in here, I'm sure, to punish me for some bad deed. But we were 17,000 feet up here, and you can see the roads. There's not much room on these roads for things to pass by, but this is where some of the greatest needs are, up on top of these mountains here, where people don't have access to good health care and water and food and that kind of thing.
Sandy, let me have you talk a little bit. After a scoping trip is a little bit different from our regular trips where we get together each evening, start assessing how we're going to help. Sandy, what did we discover?
I think that it didn't take us long to discover that there were a lot of needs in a lot of different areas. And we're sitting here, we're discussing what we think we can do to help people, and they're asking us for certain things. Some of the things that we looked at was healthcare. How can we bring healthcare to some of the areas that are really remote that don't have access to it? How do we get water to places that need it? And how do we help the people with income generating so that they can sustain their own families?
Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what Dr. Como and Daryl discovered in examining some of the people.
This is a photo that was taken as soon as the area finds out that there are outsiders and they brought with them a doctor. You see people coming from miles to get to help. Many of what they saw in this makeshift clinic was respiratory problems, has to do with ventilation in their homes, young moms who were pregnant and expecting babies, no health care available to them, and many of them are taken down the mountain about a month before the baby is born, hoping that there will be health care available there if something goes wrong during the delivery.
Mike, let's talk a little bit about another project that we want to undertake in Peru.
Yeah, this project is run by ADRA, and it's a really neat project in the fact that they are going to get farmers from around the countryside and bring them to this center and show them better ways to do crops so that they can have cash crops year-round instead of maybe just one crop for a few months. Just better ways to manage their livelihood and bring more income generation. And Gord Gilchrist right now is there as we speak, and he brought a team from Olds College to go over agriculture, and it's a really nice spot there. It would be a great place for students. There's a dorm there where students or volunteers could go and stay and work from there. This is one of the projects that A Better World is going to get involved with are these eco stoves. And up on top of the mountains, Sandi alluded to with the doctors, the respiratory problems are pretty large, respiratory and eye problems. You can see from the slide that they cook inside on not very efficient stoves, and their lungs are black and their eyes are bad. For $250, we can build an eco stove with proper ventilation, and it's more safe. The children will fall into the hot fire or rocks, and it's just better health for them. And it's only about $250 to provide somebody with clean lungs and good eyesight. So. And
Sandy, we finally visited a home, or several homes, but this was one that you were in.
This is a family that we visited. We're way up on top of the mountain, and if you can notice, we're dressed very warmly, and it was a very, very cold day. This home has a very small bed, a small rickety bench, dirt floors, and if you could see the walls, you would see that they were all black, and that is from the stove that cooks and provides a small amount of warmth. It's very, very cold. The small children have very bruised and black cheeks, and that is from frostbite, so you can tell that that's cold when it's like that.
My name is Michael Gouchie. I've been living in Lacombe since 1988, so over 20 years. I became involved with a Better World through our church. I started attending the Seventh-day Adventist Church in the 2000, and Eric Raja did presentations on his trips to Kenya, and it was just something that grabbed my attention and something I just felt very passionate about. And in about 2005, I did take my family, my wife Sandie, and our 4 children to Kenya. And once we got there, it was just an amazing experience. We went around to all the local projects, and once we met the people there and seen what kind of work A Better World was doing, it was just something we knew we had to stay involved with. So we've gone back 4 times, and all my children have gone back on their own. They've lived in the orphanages, they've done work in the orphanages on their own, and now Sandi and I are project managers for 2 projects in Kenya, in Lacombe and Samotwet, and basically what we're doing is helping do some management. We stay in touch with the people, the local people in Kenya, and make sure the schools are getting built, that construction is getting started, that money's transferred and the funds are transferred, and basically just making sure the project runs smoothly and the schools or classrooms get built as they're supposed to get built.